Okay, so here we have performed DAPI stain. So in the first image, you can see. Uh, first one is control, means without any infection, any treatment. So DAPI stain is actually staining the nucleus of the cell. So in the first image, you can see that the nucleus are very good in morphology. They are actually in their proper state. See, it's treated with S protein, like of SARS-CoV-2. So nucleus are not in their original form. And in the third image, first we have treated the cells with the drug, and then we have infect the cells with S protein. And the last image, first we have treated the cells with the spike protein, then with the drug. So we can see the difference from infected one and the treatment one in compared to control, that the cells have uh, recovered. Okay, let's switch to in vivo models. So as I have already told, in vivo means within living animal model. So here we'll get the idea about how the entire organism works over this drug or any lead compounds when we treat with these lead compounds to that animal models. Mice is one of the most important model system. In our lab also we are using mice. So why we choose mice model? Because it has 95% genetic similarity of human counterparts, and also the genome sequence of the mice is well established, so we can easily create knockout mice. We can easily do any genetic modification with this mice model, and also it is cost effective, and it's very easy to handle. These are different routes of administration. International administration, oral administration. Like for no-sort, we are using oral administration. For when we are using working with Japanese encephalitis virus, we inject the virus in brain. So different routes of administration depends on experimental demand. So these are different routes. Now come to the advantage of in vivo models. So where the disadvantages of in vitro models lies, there only advantages of in vivo models rises. So in vitro models, we are not getting the idea of how entire organism works or responses. So here we'll get that idea, and pharmacokinetics and pharmacokinetic study we can do with in vivo models, and it's a long term effect. We can for any disease to observe it very long period of time, we can use this model system, and it gives us more accurate idea about how our original organism like human body works. So not obviously 100% idea, but it will give us more accuracy than in vitro models. One of the like most important disadvantage is the animal ethics. Like as in vivo model system, we are working with animal models. So we need to have that ethical permission. So for ethical permission, we need to go through a long period. So that's one important thing. Another one is cost. It is not. It is little bit costly, because to establish any animal model, we need to have like here also we are having that. Sorry. So to maintain that animals, we need proper staffs to handle them and to take care of them. So this is the disadvantage of this model. These are different experiments we performed with in vivo models. Like first we isolate the tissue from the animal model, then with that tissue we perform these experiments. First one is histology study that we performed with lung tissue, Second one is immunohistochemistry, where we are binding particularly any antigen, like we are targeting the antigen with primary and secondary antibody. Third one is Western blot, so we are checking the protein, which protein has responded after treatment, before treatment, after infection, before infection. So these all studies we performed by isolating the tissues from the organism. So this is it, and this is our laboratory. Thank you.
So, sir, we had 2 sessions. Today is actually more of a practical tour, mostly. You all will be visiting our 3 departments. So, the 2 departments have given their oral presentation, that is the theoretical one, the pharmacology and the virology. The part which is remaining is the chemistry, which will be taken in the second half. So, before going to the lunch, I want to recollect these 2 sessions which has already been is over. The first one was the pharmacology, where the safety and the efficacy. Why we are so much focused on? Because all around the world, people are casting aspersion on the safety of the homeopathic drugs. Whenever you are going to publish a paper, whenever you are going for a trial, your PG students, they are going to publish a paper, the mainstream journals are asking for the safety of the drug. How you are giving that arsenic album 30, what safety methods have been taken, because there are no literature. So CCRH is doing the reverse pharmacology part, where the safety of the homeopathic drugs are being taken from the preclinical levels, as well as on the cell line studies, the mechanistic action of the drugs. The mechanistic action of the drugs which is going in the cell lines. Now, as she was telling that there are many issues that what is, Bonnie wasn't told that what is true to the part is true to the whole. But whether it fits here, I don't think so. Because cell is another entity. When it comes into a whole organism, the whole array of things becomes changed. So this is a challenging part in a mechanistic action of homeopathic drugs, what we are working, and there are number of papers which being published under the guidance of Dr. Satadal Das, sir, very well, that we are working on dengue, we are working on Japanese encephalitis, we are working on monkeypox, we are working on COVID-19. So many viruses we are working on it, and we are having the cell lines on which we are working, and how the movements of the actions are taking inside the cell, the intracellular actions are going on. Now you must be thinking in your mind that why we are working on some animals. But when there was a other study, when we were going into the literature study, there was a Dr. Carl Jenke. Dr. Carl Jenke, when you Google it out, he was the first veterinarian homeopath who proved homeopathic drugs on animals. You must be knowing about Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar. He also proved homeopathic drugs on animals. So when Dr. Carl Jenke came, he found that at least 68 to 70, but Hahnemann was against the animal experimentation. But when Dr. Carl Jenke found that 70% of the symptoms were more or less same, which was on the animals as well as on the humans. The only part was the mental part. So I think why we are working on preclinical and on the cell lines, to establish the fact that homeopathic medicines is safe as well as it is efficacious. Thank you very much. You will have a tour on the lab, and then you ask many questions where what you have heard now, you will see practical. Over to Dr. Madhumita.
Thank you, sir. So now we will go for the lunch in first floor canteen. The lunch was arranged by your institute only. So we will go to the lunch to take the lunch and come first to come back here. Within 2:30 we will try to start the next session. After coming here, we will divide you in two batches. One batch will go to the pharmacology and animal house visit, and another batch is virology. Then we will exchange the. अच्छा এটা কোথায়
দিয়ে দে বললাম তো প্রথমেই স্টপ
स्टॉपটা ব্যাক করলে তো স্টপ হয়ে যাবে এখান থেকে কাট করে স্টপ
38 actually participants, but